I was recently asked, do individuals with narcissistic personality target strong or just nice people? What do you think? Why do certain individuals fall prey to narcissistic behavior? Put in a comment. This is the topic of today's video. I'm Professor Shania Rathod, a psychiatrist in the United Kingdom. I post interesting videos weekly on my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. Let me start with a scenario. You've just come out of a tough phase. Maybe a bad breakup, job loss, or a period of self-doubt. Then, suddenly someone enters your life who seems to see everything special about you. They shower you with attention, tell you how amazing you are, and make you feel like the most important person in the room. It can feel intoxicating. But over time, the warmth starts to fade. The compliments turn into backhanded remarks, the affection becomes unpredictable, and you feel like you are constantly trying to get back to that magical beginning. You start questioning yourself. Am I the problem? Am I too sensitive? Maybe, if I just try harder, things will go back to how they were. This cycle is more common than people realize. While narcissistic behavior is often portrayed as deliberate manipulation, the truth is more nuanced. Narcissism may not always be a conscious strategy. It's often a deep-seated way of maintaining an inflated self-image. And while anyone can be affected by these dynamics, certain emotional states and personality traits can make some people more susceptible. So here are 4 emotional states that may drive some individuals into these dynamics. First is feeling lonely and emotionally exhausted. You may have noticed how people are more likely to fall into unhealthy relationships right after a difficult period. When someone is emotionally drained, whether from a heartbreak, grief, or low self-esteem, they become more receptive to validation. That empty or lonely feeling can be so intense that individuals crave external validation. Love bombing, in the form of excessive praise and attention, feels like an antidote to that pain, and in that moment, it's easy to mistake intensity for genuine connection. Whether you're a strong person or just too nice, it is irrelevant. The point is the state of mind at a vulnerable time. The strongest of us can find ourselves in this position. Second is having weak boundaries. Now, some people grow up believing that keeping peace is more important than standing up for themselves. They hesitate to say no even when something feels off. If you've ever found yourself justifying someone's bad behavior because you don't want to be mean or give them the benefit of the doubt, you might relate. Narcissistic individuals often push boundaries little by little until suddenly you are doing things you never thought you'd tolerate. Third is fear of rejection and abandonment. Imagine a child who had to earn love by being good all the time. That same fear of rejection can follow people into adulthood, making them tolerate toxic dynamics just to avoid being left behind. When a narcissistic person pulls away, whether through silent treatment or emotional distancing, it triggers a deep-seated fear of abandonment, making that person more likely to chase after the approval they once had. They slowly start crossing their own boundaries for that approval. Number 4, overly empathetic and unassertive. Some people have an instinct to fix things. If you're someone who sees the best in everyone and believes love can heal all wounds, you might find yourself repeatedly giving second chances. While empathy is a strength, unchecked compassion without boundaries can turn into self-sacrifice, especially when dealing with someone who thrives on taking more than they give. This information isn't about demonizing individuals with narcissistic personalities. Often these patterns aren't intentional. They may stem from deep-seated insecurities and past wounds. Understanding these dynamics is about recognizing where you might be giving away too much power in a relationship. The goal is self-awareness so that you can engage in relationships from a place of strength, not emotional survival. So here are 3 strategies that might help you. First is pause and check for patterns. When someone's affection feels too much too soon, take a step back. Healthy connections grow steadily over time. Real love doesn't need to be rushed or proven. If someone is pushing for deep emotional involvement early on, ask yourself, do they love me or do they love how I make them feel? Secondly, strengthen your boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they are filters. Pay attention to your own instincts and discomfort. If you feel drained, guilty, or manipulated after interactions, that's a sign that your limits are being crossed. Practice saying no without over explaining. A simple, that doesn't work for me is enough. Thirdly, validate yourself internally. When your self worth depends on external validation, you become vulnerable to those who know how to manipulate it. Build self validation by reminding yourself of your worth, independent of anyone's approval. Journaling, therapy, and even daily affirmations can help rewire the need for external reassurance. By recognizing these patterns, strengthening your self awareness, and reinforcing your emotional boundaries, you can navigate relationships from a place of empowerment, ensuring that love, respect, and connection are mutual, not just one-sided. If you've enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I have, the more YouTube gives me the ability to make more creative videos. Like it, share it, tell it to all the people you know. And thank you for watching.